up, Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid hot.
Fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener! Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm. Because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
What up, dope people? Thank you guys for choosing to kick off this victory show with the WUW Crew. It's Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys, man. Hey, chat family, as always, you guys are the most important part of the WUW Crew production. So go on ahead and smash that like button. A 28-point victory, man, for those Detroit Pistons on the road versus the lowly Jazz. But it's been the theme of these Pistons. They just handle business. They beat the teams that they're supposed to. It's your boy Brandon Dent, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Flannel Sam, the vet of the squad, the vet of the network, Red Wings correspondent, ball knower, all sports knower, just in general. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. We're going to go heavy Pistons to start off with, but we're also definitely going to tease some LB later because a former Detroit Lion just coming off of a Super Bowl victory just got released. I know there's been a lot of chatter among that. There's been some rumors, new ones heating up about Lions and Mr. Myles Garrett, and also what does the Eagles releasing Darius Slay mean? Whoops, I just gave away who it was. You already knew that anyway, but yeah, lots of Lions, but lots of Pistons to start the show with.
Lots of Pistons to start the show with. And you know what, man? Just looking at the standings, they are a half game behind both the Pacers and the Bucks right now. And you know what? They are 5 games ahead of the next closest team behind them, which is the Miami Heat. All of those team dysfunctions on there, they're all there. The Heat, the Magic, the Hawk, the Bulls, and I see you all the way down there at the bottom, Philadelphia 76ers. But these Detroit Pistons, they're trending in a direction that even some of the most ardent slappies did not foresee. And they do have a sure shot at that number 4 seed. They take out the Utah Jazz 134-106. And everybody's wondering, man, what's up with Cade? Well, you know what? Cade scored tonight a little bit more. 29 points, 9 assists for Cade, 12 of 24 from the floor. And Jalen Duren, man, he just continues to be somebody who just stretches the bounds of what I believe is even possible for him. Now, all of a sudden, when they go back to Dwayne Casey saying on draft night, Sean Kemp, now the flashes, the images of Jalen Duren, dribble drive from the three-point line and dunking on somebody in like 3 dribbles was like, okay, this is insane. He even split a little bit of a soft double team. And this is what this Pistons team is about right now. They are believing in themselves. It's evident that they've put in the work despite all of the dysfunction over the years, and now they're capitalizing with a coach like JB Bickerstaff, getting them in the right position to succeed, man.
Hey, and before I talk about the Pistons as well, we got an interesting super chat from I Am Really Devin Booker. So thank you, Devin Booker, for tapping into Wake Up Woodward.
Come home.
Hey, guys, love WUW Crew. I'm coming to Detroit to dunk on KG for firing up Kool-Aid. Hey, come to the Pistons and then come to our studio, Devin Booker. I would not mind that at all. But yeah, last night, you know what I'm never going to take for granted? I'm never going to take for granted 28-point road victories, especially on the West Coast. I don't care if it's against the Jazz. It doesn't matter. And I'm also never going to take for granted a stat line for Cade in which he puts up 29 points and 9 assists on 50% shooting. That's some elite stuff right there. And I just love, too, and we keep seeing it, the Pistons basically treated the Jazz like the JV team. The Pistons were a team that last year was the worst team in the entire NBA. And I know that we don't need to belabor the turnaround point too much, but I just can't help myself. It was business as usual beating a West Coast team on the road by 28 points last night. I used to dream about times like these.
Hold on. And we have to take it a step further. It wasn't just business as usual because we've been here. We've been there.
Yeah.
But we've done this before. We say, oh, they should beat this team, and it doesn't happen. What was different last night was that even before the game started, How many people even cared about this game on the schedule? We all saw it. It pops up in our alerts. And you know why? It was just kind of like, they're supposed to beat this team. They're going to beat this team. And everything that we saw, it was proof positive of what we all know about this Detroit Pistons team this year. And that, to me, is what's so different about them, man. It's not just handling business. It's the fact that more times than not, you can go with these types of teams and take that to the bank. Yeah, they're just going to win. Probably not going to get that good of odds right now because of where the Detroit Pistons are trending. But they're going up. And it's amazing because the NBA.com put out their power rankings, had them 13th, and had the Pacers in the top 10. And since then, all that's happened is that gap has closed in between them. Why? Because the Pistons are concerned about what's going on the court. And they are trying to bludgeon everybody. One of the things that cracked me up, bro, was after the Nets win, Ron Holland posted something online that just cracked me up. I'm going to get that to JB by the end of the show, but it just shows what their mentality is. And it was like the Bulls, like in the 80s, the Bulls had Jordan, this team had Magic. The Pistons, I just beat the out of somebody. And that's what you see. From a physical standpoint, if you are not ready, you're going to get blitzed by them. The Denver Nuggets, they were talking pregame. Mike Malone was talking pregame about, we know about this team. We know about their fabric. This is a compliment that they were ready. They came game planned for it, and they played everything through Jokic, and he literally had all the stats, like a 2K stat line. So it's cool to see this team stepping into the recipes that's made former Pistons teams so successful, and it's that physicality, that hustle, that defense, and honestly on offense, the mindset is sharing the ball. Cade's not worried if he gets 9 shot attempts or if he gets 20. You know who that reminds me of? Chauncey Billups.
Hey, but Cade is going to be better than Chauncey Billups. I mean, he already is at this point, I think, better than Chauncey Billups ever was. But you got to give Chauncey the credit for the championship and the Finals MVP and whatnot. But we all know that Cade Cunningham is a different animal, and we saw it last night. And what I love, I'll just start quickly with Cade, is that we look at this game. It was dominated when it comes to the Pistons in terms of stocks, in terms of fast break points. It wasn't even close. The Pistons just blitzkrieged them. But still, I've said it before, and I've said it, and I'll say it again. You can't live off of fast break points. You can't live off of transition. And it's Cade Cunningham that runs the offense in the half court and continues to create good looks for himself and others. And last night, when you look at his assists, he got 3 easy finishes for Asar Thompson, including 2 dunks, 2 Paul Reed dunks, a Beasley 3, a Duren dunk, and 2 Tim Hardaway Jr. easy buckets. And those weren't all in transition. A lot of those were in the half court, coming off of Utah Jazz made shots. So it's Cade Cunningham who is generating so much offense on a night in, night out basis. And a lot of it is in the half court, which is more difficult to score in, as we already know. Last night, Cade Cunningham generated through points or assists 48 points on 24 shots. You love to see it. Those are some MVP type numbers. And Cade Cunningham, after a couple of, one was a bad game and the other one was not a bad game, but his stat line certainly didn't look as great as it usually does. This was back to a normal Cade Cunningham stat line, 29 points, 9 assists, and oh, by the way, 4 steals. 4 steals. Speaking of defense.
You know what, and that's really becoming this team's calling card, and it's what they continue to say. And let's put this win in perspective, too. Not only did they handle business, we know that Jaden Ivey is out, and luckily he is out of his walking boot, so he does have a chance to rehab and potentially get back for a playoff push. But Tobias Harris and Isaiah Stewart were also out in that game last night. So when we talk about the physicality in the defense, we see now that by osmosis, this team is starting to grow. That was a really good win, led by your star on a night when you were going to need it, missing one of your vets, and then your longest tenured Piston, and the best rim protector on the team, even though Jalen Duren is looking like, as of late, he wants to challenge that. But Isaiah Stewart is your best rim protector out. That last night was one of those character wins. It wasn't just kind of a basic, they just went in and did their thing. No, they went in there, they had some challenges, and even Samani Fontecchio. So with those 2 guys out, you needed some people to come in and step up. And when you just look at the bench scoring, it was completely efficient. So only Samani Fontecchio scored 10 points. Over 10 points, but everybody else, it was either like 100 from the field or missed maybe just a couple shots from the field, other than, I think, Dennis Schroeder. But all of them put up some pretty good stats across the board. And it's what you want to see, is showing depth. And when you talk about the types of runs that we want to see this team get on to try and cure the 51 wins that KG
Hey.
has put on them.
Yes, sir.
This is what you're going to have to see. These are the games you're going to have to win. Just like they came away with the Boston one. This was one, too, that last year and the year before. And honestly, we can go back decades. They would have lost because Utah has kicked our tail for so long. I take every single one of these Utah Jazz victories so sweetly. They have gone on some of the most insane freaking winning streaks against us, and I don't even know why. It's making me pissed off right now. I hate John Stockton. All right.
But to piggyback off of that, that's why you don't take these wins over the Jazz lightly. I understand that the Jazz, they're tanking right now. Their future is very uncertain unless if they luck out and get a Cooper Flag or somebody like that. And even then, you never know with rookies. I compare that in a way, although it's not the most linear comparison, to what the Pistons have done during this stretch of great basketball to the Chicago Bulls. Beat them 3 times. How many times have the Bulls, even in the last few years when they weren't a real threat but just a fringe playoff team, just came into LCA or we went into the United Center and would just take beatings from the Bulls, have a Kobe White go off, or Vucevic, or Levine, or whoever. And the Pistons, they're just treating these teams like fodder, basically. It's like, okay, we're just going to kick your ass. And this is the Pistons.
Let me tell you. Let me read these stats. Since February 1st, all right? I'm going to read these Detroit ranks for you. They're 4th in offensive rating. They are 3rd in defensive rating. They are 1st in fewest opponent rebounds allowed. University of Michigan. 2nd in field goal percentage. Think about that. 1st in points in the paint. 2nd in fewest opponent points in the paint. 2nd in fewest opponent points in the paint. And they are 1st in points in the paint. 3rd in steals and 1st in fast break points. Like, this team is a real team. And they're special right now. And everybody is stepping up right now. When you look at all of the players that we would consider to be role players, that's why I took a step back and I said, Asar and Jalen Duren are starting to really track and trend towards those all-star type projections that a lot of fans said that they could reach based on their physicality, based on their IQ, based on their versatility, based on their two-way ability. And now you're seeing the effect that it has, that you could be missing Jaden Ivey, Tobias, Isaiah Stewart, and your team is still churning like a hot knife through butter, man. And I don't know what JB Bickerstaff is doing beyond just the X's and O's and getting these guys in the right positions to keep them motivated, but these guys really believe, and they act and they operate and they sound like a team that's been there and done that before. Not just the vets, but when you hear the younger guys talk, they all have a certain more mature disposition about them, and they have it up here mentally that they know what to do, and they're going out there and they're actually doing it. You don't see infighting with these guys. You don't see these guys like getting pissed off on the bench or catching pitchers or scenes of them. No, if they're fighting, it's together. They'll literally go and bark at somebody else and earn a technical. And that, to me, when you talk about all these other teams below them that are dysfunctional, when you look at how functional the Pistons are, man, I'm telling you, watch out. You do not want to catch these Pistons in the playoffs.
No, you do not. Especially if you're the Indiana Pacers, you don't want to play the Detroit Pistons, but I think that that's probably how it's going to shape out. But hey, even if you're the New York Knicks, honestly, if you're the Knicks, you probably don't want to play the Pacers or the Pistons, but still, I mean.
I see how it's going to work out. I see the NBA's script writers. It's going to be Pistons Pacers.
That would be and the Pistons have every right to believe that they're going to get home court. If they're a half game behind, they get home court. Imagine a game 1 in a playoff series at LCA. Just imagine that right now.
I can't. I was talking about this with some of the other guys in media. I was talking about this with some of the fans. I was talking about this with season ticket holders. And that's literally what they say. I can't even imagine it. Because these games have been so hype. But we do know that there's another level, but they've already been so much more loud than things we've experienced over the last 4 or 5 years at Little Caesars Arena. And you know what? They get into these playoffs and they do get a Jaden Ivey back that's healthy. I'm telling you, it's going to be a problem. This team is playing for each other. Absolutely. This isn't a situation where it's like, well, is it going to fit or is it not? All of these players are stepping into the roles that they need. And remember when Carlton Davis said that Dan Campbell will go and call you out and big you up for the stuff that don't get in the stat sheets, for the things that don't? He was like, man, dog, they love Amon-Ra. He'll go in there whether he getting the catch or not, and he'll block tail off like a mofo. And Dan Campbell went to the locker room and was like, yeah, look at that. Like, Dan Campbell came in one day and said, man, bro, I see you out there. You had a good game. But that's what I see out of what we're seeing with JB Bickerstaff and this Detroit Pistons team right now, man, overall. And I do believe that he's allowing this team and helping this team from a motivational standpoint to reach another level. And I don't believe they want to let us down as fans. They don't want to let him down either. And they find themselves just a half game outside of fourth.
Yep, more Pistons talk when we get back because I want to get KG involved in this
sir.
because I want to check in on his revised 51 win
51 win.
One of the best ways to do that is
Looking
to
good.
win a West Coast game on the road by 28, no matter who it is. But first, I got to tell you about Planet Fitness because it is where your fitness is essential. They got 50-plus Metro Detroit locations. You can get the cheaper membership for $15 per month if you just want to work out at your home gym, or you can upgrade the Black Card for $24.99 per month, which gives you access to all Planet Fitnesses across the world and gives you an opportunity to bring a guest with you. Join today in club or online or visit planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports. Do yourself a favor, scan that QR code on screen. Use code word Woodward1000. You can deposit up to $1,000, but all you have to do is place a minimum of a $20 bet. And if it doesn't hit, they'll throw it right back into your account with no questions asked. It's Caesar Sportsbook, the best sportsbook around. Sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Scan that QR code, use code word Woodward1000, and make some money today.
Make some money, and you know what? The Detroit Pistons, they're coming up money right now, especially in these games that they're supposed to win. They defeat the Utah Jazz 134-106, and they push their record to 35-27 on the season. That sounds beautiful right now, Flannel Sam.
Oh, it sounds absolutely beautiful, and I have some more beautiful numbers if you would like those as well.
Yes, sir.
Jalen Duren and Asar Thompson were a combined 12 of 12 from the floor with a combined 10 stocks. Oh. Sorry, I just had to.
It's like porn to you, right?
No, for real.
That's
those,
beautiful.
Those are beautiful. Those were. And when you just look at their numbers across the board, Jalen Duren with another double-double, 16 and 12 on 5 shots, by the way. Asar Thompson, 17, 6 and 5, 3 steals, 1 block, and also generated 12 more points through his assists, all 5 of them, for 29 generated points on 7 shots. So I got to glaze them for a second as well, because last night was really honestly the Cade, Asar, and Duren show, and you're seeing what all 3 of them look like when they're all three playing pretty much the best that they possibly can. So shout out to those 3 as a whole, and shout out to Duren and Asar for playing perfect. I'd say perfect.
I would say perfect. Especially when you consider the two-way ability. Think about how many people get the credit for playing perfect when they just play marginally defense and pretty good on offense. These guys are going out there and they're doing their roles. They're doing their jobs. When you look at the fact that the Detroit Pistons are number 1 in points in the paint, their field goal percentage is like number 1 or number 2 in the league, and then you look at the fact that they're also one of the top teams as it relates to lob passes and finishes. They're one of the top teams with pick and roll assists. They're one of the top team with assists out to the perimeter for threes. This team is just working so well cohesively, and they're taking the highest percentage shots. Everything's coming at the rim. They're one of your top teams in the league. They are the number 1 team in the league at dunks per game. So this is why you're going to see that points per game start to go up. And Cade Cunningham is one of your top players at points in the paint.
Yes,
These are some of the differences over even what we saw early in the season, and they have gotten better. It seems like JB Bickerstaff was like chiseling away the entire season. So at some point in time early, it looked a little bit ugly, especially when they started 0-4. But as they've continued to just be consistent with those principles and believe in where he was trying to take them, now you see this team both offensively and defensively as one of the top 5 teams. I mean, it'd be more appropriate since February 1st. Top 3, both offensively and defensively in the entire league from a defensive and offensive efficiency standpoint. That's insane.
It is insane. And you mentioned it. When you watch the Pistons, it's staggering, at least since they've been winning at a high level. I'll just say since the calendar year 2025, and I've mentioned it before and I'll mention it again because it bears repeating. The amount of easy looks that they get and finish, it's unlike anything I've seen from the Pistons since probably going to work. I would say definitely going to work. I mean, even probably more than going to work, although they're not nearly the team at this point. But and that's Cade Cunningham, and that's transition. Cade gets so many easy looks for guys like Asar and Duran and whoever is there. Whoever's open for an easy look, Cade will find them. And in transition, we've talked about it, fast break points, steals, blocks. They've been on an absolute roll lately, defense to offense, and you've got multiple players that are absolute demons in transition, whether it's Asar, whether it's Cade, whether it's Duran, either running the break, which we've seen a couple of times, or just being that like floor running gazelle of a big man. It's beautiful to watch. And when you got all those easy buckets, plus you've got Malik Beasley draining threes at pretty much the highest rate in the NBA, that's a winning formula.
You know what, man? Before we get KG on this, 58.6. Do you know what that number is?
What is that?
That is the average points scored in the paint by the Pistons across their last 17 games.
That's
that dates back to February 1st. That is second most in the NBA during that span. They have not been outscored in the paint, though, in any of their games during that stretch. That's crazy.
Wow.
Listen, they're beating their opponents down low by 14.5 points per game.
Man, so beautiful.
That's beautiful, and they've been shooting. That's where they've gotten almost 50% of their points per game. And Cade Cunningham, top 10 in the league in points in the paint per game. He is 7th with 13.4 points, paint points.
And
per
how
game.
long of a sample size is this again?
17 games.
17
since February
games.
1st.
Since February 1st. So how many times have they lost since then? Just a couple.
I mean, they were 9-3 in the month of February, and then did they lose in? I don't think they lost in March yet.
Hey,
Nah.
And one of those losses was when the Denver Nuggets basically played perfect. So when you play like that, when you don't get outscored, when you don't get outscored in the paint, when you're a demon team in transition, when you block shots, when you get steals, when your star is playing like he's playing, you almost can't lose. And this is the Detroit Pistons, man.
Hey, you know what, KG? You upped it to what, 51? I went
Yes, sir.
from
And the 4th seed.
I went from 30 and a playing spot to 46 and nab that 4 seed, man.
Yeah, look at our
But
jumps, man.
You're feeling 51. Are you gonna go up from that total now?
Oh, don't test me, because
Are
you
you
know
gonna
I do
go
it.
up?
You
Come
know
on,
I do.
KG,
You know I'm a
come
crash
on.
out. You know I do that shit. But nah, man, and kind of to your point in the first segment, normally when I watch the Pistons, I'm locked in for the whole game. But a couple minutes into the third quarter last night, I start doing chores around the house. I start editing a little bit, kind of on my Jared Goff shit. I know the Pistons finna be here.
It was a late game. It's like if you watch that blowout, you might doze off.
Yeah, it's just like we knew what to expect, and then they went out there and gave it to us, even in the absence of Isaiah Stewart, not being on the team, and Tobias Harris as well. But the formula is they dominate in the paint. They did that last night. They dominated in the fast break. They did that last night. And you know it was an ass whooping because they only shot 26% from three?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. They won by 28 points. This is a royal ass whooping, man. But it's just amazing. And I know you brought up the fact that, how does JB Bickerstaff keep these guys motivated? I don't think he has to at this point. I think they're young, they're hungry, they're keeping themselves motivated at this point. And it's just amazing to see, bro. Jalen Duren, he continues to go out there and be the X factor for this team, man. 4 blocks, 2 steals last night. His offense is taking an uptick this month. And he's really, I swear, I know Isaiah Stewart is still the leading shot blocker right now, but Jalen Duren is quickly going to change that, bro. He's becoming a problem. And then you add to that defenses have to worry about maybe him putting the ball on the floor a little bit more now. I think that's a part of his game that's kind of going unnoticed right now, but man, this Pistons team is amazing, man.
I used to bring the videos onto this channel. Woodward Pistons knows, and I would put the practice videos where he's boom, boom, boom. You know what all the fans would say? Why is he practicing on that and he ain't got no post moves? I wonder if they were saying that last night. No, because he from the 3-point line, like, it was supposed to be, I think, a dribble handoff.
Yeah.
And it was just a busted play. And he just turned and looked at the rim. I'm like, all right, I know you can get probably a couple dribbles into the paint to be able to pass it back out to the guard. And then he just hit a little in and out right between the other defender and just dunked it. And it was just like, that's what we're doing now. And then there was the other play where Cade came down off the pick and roll, threw it over to Duren, and he just straight up, hey, I'm just dunking on everybody. And these are the things that when we go back to Andre Drummond, we're like, yo, just dunk everything. And that 1 year he had with Rasheed Wallace in the school of dunk everything was the most aggressive and motor that we've ever seen out of Andre Drummond. And we do know that Jalen Duren's 1 year in college. He did have one Rasheed Wallace there. And last night, you talk about that level of aggression. We got that player, that motor. He's not going to not get a double-double. He's not going to go out there and not lead the game in dunks every single night. And then when you look at what he's doing, he's getting these dunks on putbacks. He's getting these dunks off of just his own rim creation and his own offense creation. He's getting them off of pick and rolls, a lot of passes, everything.
Yeah.
And they can't stop him.
And that's where you kind of salivate when you realize how young he still is and how much growth his offensive game, it can go to a whole nother level. And I said it yesterday. I think I'm going to stick by this. I think he's becoming the number 2 on this team, but just because of everything he can do on the floor, not only from an interior defensive standpoint, but if the offense catches up with the defense, oh my God, like he's going to be a problem in this league for a long time.
And I think he already is. When you look at him, he's the perfect player that you want as that number 4. Generally, when you're talking about number 2, it's the order and who you're going to offensively. And that's where you like the development of guys like Asar and Jalen, because they're not out there like, give me mine, give me mine, give me mine, but they can still get there within the flow of the offense. That allows for the perfect assimilation of a guy like Jaden Ivey, who's not even saying give me mine, but you know you can depend on him to be a secondary ball handler and facilitator, and it won't take away from anybody else on the court. Look at Jaden Ivey's assists. Those things were going up. He was trending towards career highs on this year. So I like the makeup of this team, and they can be realistically, whether you need them to be the number 2 or the number 3 or the number 4, all these young players are starting to really, really, really turn up 7-7-7, which is crazy. We were all sitting around like, well, we just need 1 or 2 to hit. Hey, we love all of them. But what happens if Asar and Duren and Ivy all hit?
You're looking at a championship. You're looking at a championship, point blank.
That's crazy, dog. And you still got Isaiah Stewart, who I believe he's outplaying his contract.
Yeah.
He is.
Just being for real.
Absolutely.
He is. And I mentioned yesterday, just another quick little stat on Isaiah Stewart now that you mention him, how I said he was averaging 2.5 blocks per 36 minutes. He's also averaging a double-double per 36 minutes.
Ooh,
that's efficiency.
Crazy.
That's what you want from your back. Yes, he's averaging 10 and 10 per 36. He doesn't get a lot of minutes, but
both of our bigs, who for years,
Yeah.
they couldn't find a way to get over that double-double mark. Both of them. Now both of them are at that 30. Duren's per 36 double-double numbers got to sound insane.
Oh yeah, I haven't looked at his because he plays actual like big minutes.
Yeah.
But hey, I love the fact that if we're just while we're on the per 36 minutes talking point, which isn't a talking point, it's a real thing, and I love to see it.
Yep.
Ron Hollins look fantastic. So do Asar Thompson's, and so do Isaiah Stewart's. Those are all three guys who don't play heavy minutes, with Asar playing a little bit more than the other two, but still, he was on a minutes restriction. That seems to be getting lifted, but the per 36 minutes stat tells a great story, I think, about guys like Holland, Isaiah Stewart, and Asar Thompson, and just how valuable they've been to this team and just how efficient they've been, at least with what they do best. Love to see it. You need players like that in order to win.
It's insane, dog. Just looking at the fact that they had 24 stocks in that game.
24
Jesus.
stocks, and how many did the Jazz
insane,
have?
Dog.
8.
That's insane.
The Jazz had 8. You want another crazy number?
That's one third.
Yes, 1/3. Speaking of 1/3, the Pistons had 38 fast break points. The Jazz had 11. Less than 1/3.
Sorry, they dominated.
Dog, they're bullying teams, man.
Dream for
26%
times
from
like
behind the
these.
arc, like KG said, and it didn't matter.
Didn't
55% in the paint. Everywhere else.
Everywhere else.
Goodness gracious, these Detroit Pistons, you want to see them continue this on because you want the mojo to be there. You want that kind of momentum and that chemistry to be there. And I don't see why it's going to slow down right now. You, like KG said, you got a young, hungry team that has believed in themselves. I've continued to say they have not stopped working. Last year, when it was just kind of on them, Jalen Duren and Cade Cunningham went down to Texas and worked out for a couple seasons. So it's just like, you know what? I like where this team is at. And Jalen Duren, when he put it out there that, hey, look, we really F with each other. He was like, no, like, I'm for real. Well, we're like, all of us are looking like, you don't got to convince us. Like, we see it.
Yeah.
But he was like, no, we hang out at the gym. Like, we like each other there. We hang out off the court. Like we're really brothers. And that, to me, is what we heard a lot more, especially when Rasheed Wallace got here. And that going to work Pistons team. And it's like I try and go back to that formation of that squad because how do you capture that moment of something special while it's happening? Now, obviously, they got to go out there and prove it. But I think the real key thing that you talked about, KG, is the fact that they want this.
Yeah,
They
and
want this.
it's so hard to get people to all buy into one message. We talked about it with the Lions and how they're able to get everybody on the same page. And you're seeing the same thing with the Pistons here because the type of veterans that they have, they're on the younger side, but they're bought in as well. You got your young players, they're developing. Everybody wants to win here. Everybody is on the same page, and you can see that on the basketball floor. It's so hard to do in the NBA to get everybody on the same page. It's not easy to do, especially when you have star power involved. But I mean, for this team to be doing what they're doing right now, the sky's the limit, bro. The sky's the limit.
I'm going to just put this out there. I know they got cap space. I know that the assets are setting up nice for them. I am for re-signing their own guys now.
Yeah.
And to go out there and grab somebody that might be high profile. You can't, like, these types of makeups of these teams, man, it's just different.
It's special. You can't break it up.
Even Ivy. Like,
and I think they value
so
that.
serious about that. Even Ivy. I don't know what the numbers look like for him. Duren is playing himself into a different stratosphere than where he started the season.
You got to pay that man. If he keep doing this, you got to pay that man.
He's going to a different place, man, to a completely different place. Because what you see right now is, all right, teams trap Cade. It don't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. They bull rushed him on the Duren drive from the 3-point line. So it's just like, pick your poison. You want Asar to do that to you next? Because he will. And he will baptize you into the rim. Straight up. And this is electric to even talk about. Last three seasons have been like, what are we doing?
Yep, and now the fruits of the labor are now realized, and they're treating teams that you thought were above them in terms of their the speed of the rebuild. Now the Pistons are the one who are the Orlando Magic, let's just say, are looking up at the Pistons.
I'm so glad you brought that up because before the season started, people would have tried to convince me that there's a conversation between Colin Sexton and Cade Cunningham.
That's a joke.
No.
But you heard
know.
the conversations the last 2-3 years.
I fought people
on that play.
You have.
People were talking about last year. We're like, well, we can get Sexton and marketing and just give up Cade. And it's
G.
It's like that Batman meme when he's smacking Robin. It's like, what are we talking about? And last night is where you saw it because they still had some decent talent on that team.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
It just didn't matter.
Speaking of narratives like that, now I'll get real petty. Just
Talk your shit.
Just while we're there, because Because, and I get it, we're all on board now, we're all happy, but remember when
we were there on the front lines fighting battles, bro.
Remember when we were. Remember one of the talking points used to be, and for the record, I don't necessarily blame fans' frustrations, but it used to be like, why are the Rockets? Why are the Raptors? Why are the Magic? Why are the Kings? Why are the Cavs? Why are they winning so much? Or why are they winning and the Pistons, they're still at 14 wins? People would use that. Literally, living, breathing human beings would use things like that to say, well, Franz Wagner, well, Jalen Green, well, Scotty Barnes, they just are better winners than Cade Cunningham. You heard it, Kool-Aid. Yep. Kool-Aid, people we're in this chat at this network. We're making
stick at it back.
Talking points like that.
Yep.
And it was insane with no context whatsoever. And right now, the only team out of that group of 5 that is objectively ahead of the Pistons is the Cavs. And shout out to them. They're fantastic. But it must be nice for Evan Mobley to get Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. Like, building
Jared
around
Allen.
him. Jared Allen,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Think about those 2 7-footers and the fact that they are already starting off with an advantage that our team does not have. There are so many people that would objectively put Jared Allen and Evan Mobley as a better front court pairing than Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren. But if you look at the numbers right now, who's dunking the most? Who's blocking the most? Who's defending the most? And that's our guys. That's our guys. And that's what I'm saying. Like, they are already kind of in their final form. That's where the Cavs are at. They're not getting any, in my opinion, they're not going to get any better. The Detroit Pistons are just entering a phase where they're just starting to bubble, and our young big men are already doing things their guys aren't. We control and we will dictate that physicality, and just let them get a little bit more mature. Let them get a little bit more under their belt as it relates to experience, and let Trajan cook again this summer. And I'm telling you, where this Pistons team is headed, JB Bickerstaff is almost like he's just picking up where he left off. Because let's not be remiss here. That foundation of that Cavs team, from a philosophy of coaching standpoint and building up even those young players, that came from JB Bickerstaff.
Thank you.
Period. And now what you see him doing with the Pistons, there's nobody in the world who can tell me that. Look, I'm not gonna no shade at Kenny, no shade, bro. But
if he was such a great coach, why ain't it work anywhere else he's been?
Look, they did this before with Dwayne Casey and with Nick Nurse and all of this. Don't do it again. Clearly, you see what JB Bickerstaff is and the effect he's having mixed with this young, hungry team. Because I don't want to take away from anything that they're doing to earn what they're earning, man. But overall, JB Bickerstaff has just gone out there, and now he has another one on the resume.
Yeah.
He's going to be one of those guys you look at like, yo, he's turned around how many teams? Cleveland and Detroit, and got players wanting to come there?
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful to see, and I'm so glad that the Pistons are seeing success, because I don't know if I could have taken another year of just, with all due respect to certain people, idiocy. And I understand frustration. I understand the Pistons hadn't won anything. In fact, it was the polar opposite. But I think a lot of people had their ire and their blame misplaced. I will just say that. I had no problem with people putting pressure on the Pistons and being upset with them, none whatsoever. But it was the irrational blame that used to get on my nerves, specifically when it was aimed at Mr. Cade Cunningham. And I hope all of those people just STFU into oblivion and never bring that up again. They will, though. Trust me. But we'll see.
Yeah, you know what, man? I think that's the segment.
Yes,
or else I'm going to just keep talking about the Pistons.
We can do this shit all day.
I will really keep talking.
Come on, bro. They the best ticket in town right now.
Yeah.
See, hey, Greg, 2025, go to Vegas, WUW, $9.99 super chat. Thank you, brother.
Yes.
Thank you, because
Appreciate
it's gonna be electric. I'm gonna show some of the videos and pictures from last year to show you guys some of the type of content, but we're gonna we can turn it so much more up if we got the whole WUW crew there, boots on the ground. But I was able to talk with like Bobby Clinton and his family, Ron Holland and his family and such. And we get some really cool perspectives and be able to bring you guys that kind of boots on the ground look as well. Be able to go and ask questions, interact with different players, different coaches and such. I can't wait, because all of you guys are basketball heads. All of you guys are hoop heads. And in that environment, I'm telling you, you're going to see coaches down there like leading the charge for their teams, and then in line with you buying them those chicken tenders, and you're able to just sit there and say, "Hey, man, like you got a moment to talk hoops," and it's some of the most exhilarating stuff. And then some of the players, the up and comers, the guys that are trying to get their name heard, as well as the guys that we just drafted. Bobby Clinton will be there. I'm assuming Ron Holland will be there. That's something I want to actually cover.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And just to put a bow on this when it comes to the Cleveland Cavaliers, I think it was Wheezy who said they have no wiggle room. This is it. Okoro needs to be better. And they might not need any more wiggle room because they are the 1 seed in the East. Really, but at the same time, would you pick them to beat the Celtics in a 7-game series? I probably wouldn't.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think I'd pick them to beat the Thunder or the Nuggets. I mean, Cavs, great. Evan Mobley, I'm a big fan. He's a phenomenal player, and they've got more phenomenal players than that. But I don't know. If you were to ask me in the next 5 years the over-under for championships for the Cavs at a half, I would probably choose under.
Yeah.
Even though they're really good.
I would choose the under as well. And like I said, I do believe that those Pistons are going to cause a lot of hecticness for people. I look at these teams at the top right now, and I see that their ceilings, I would just say this, it has less air in it than the Pistons does. And the Pistons are just getting started. Even Trajan Langdon said, I didn't really expect this. And guess what? They've been even better since then. So their ceiling and everything they have in front of them to improve, I like where this team is at. It reminds me so much of what Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell and co. did with the Detroit Lions. They gave them a great opportunity to retain their players. They gave themselves opportunities to be flexible in the acquisition market. They gave themselves the ability to go out there and play in the free agency. And they've gone out there and they've made good draft picks. And those are your keys to success.
Yep. And and also I brought up I feel like I keep extending this with another bow on this. I brought up
thank you.
Ron Holland's Ron Holland's per 36, and I just assumed that they looked fantastic. I didn't actually know because Denver Blair, Ron's a dog. He'll make his mark next year. He's already making strides. Per 36, Ron Holland is averaging 14 points and 6 rebounds a game.
Yeah.
Per 36.
Oh man.
You see his maturation on the court too. Just how he gets to the basket now. Like, he's learning on the fly. It's beautiful.
It looks just like it did in the honestly in the G League.
Yeah.
Just with
he's becoming a little more polished now. Yeah, he's getting that NBA seasoning on him.
Got that NBA strength to him.
Yeah.
I like it. Go Detroit Pistons. Continue to control your destiny because right now the 6th seed is theirs. Period. If it's not, how many games left? 35 and 27. They got just over 20 games left in the season.
They've separated themselves. There's 6 teams in the East that have separated themselves from everybody else, and you love to see the Pistons being a part of it. The Heat, the Hawks, the Magic. They're not even. They can't even see the Pistons right now.
And that's what I'm saying. With 20 games left, they are just a half game behind hosting a playoff series.
51 anyone?
Hosting the Pacers. I'm going to speak it into existence.
Doesn't it make sense to have Pistons, Pacers, and then Giannis in Madison Square?
Yeah.
It just
let him destroy the Knicks. Yeah, and we can worry about that in the second round.
Okay.
I see it.
Easy. I don't know if they're necessarily going to destroy.
Dame and Giannis would destroy the Knicks. I'm sorry.
You know what?
Tibbs is running them guys ragged right now.
A 4-0 sweep with every game being
ain't nobody said 4-0 sweep, but a gentleman's sweep is in question.
No chance.
Sweep.
No chance. Y'all just hate Cat.
Tibbs.
It's all Cat
it's
hate.
not that. Look, Tibbs is running those guys ragged like he always
does.
Are
available tomorrow after the show when the legend comes in?
Absolutely.
It's gonna be an NBA pod. Let's rock, man.
Man, we could go for 8 hours on the NBA and probably the whole show. But we have to talk Lions. TLB. we got a TLB because they are in the news as well, or not even necessarily directly. It's more based on what other teams have done. But still, but they're also in the news as well for things that they're doing. But I don't even remember where we are on the reads because we blew past that. Are we at merch?
Yeah, I got to tell them about merch. I got to tell you guys about merch, but let me clear up these super chats as well for you. Shout out to everyone sending them in. Please continue to send them in. Get us to Vegas. Shout out to Burns, $5 he sent in. He said, I think we just named the nickname. The Pistons should be the 313 Pistons because they could be the first Pistons team to win a playoff game in the 313 since 1975. 50 years?
Oh, because of Auburn Hills. I got you. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Pretty unique. The Real K77,
Shout out.
$9.99 towards Summer League funds. Thank you, man. We appreciate it. Shout out to you. And Burn, once again, another $5.
Shout out.
Let's go.
Remember, it's not
Big
the
Burn.
slots that get you in Vegas. It's the food. It's everywhere. It's good and expensive.
And
That's a fact.
he ain't lying.
I know.
Yeah.
He ain't lying.
Listen, my wife and I love barbecue, and the best ribs we ever had in our lives was from Vegas, man.
I didn't have ribs in Vegas. We about to try that out when we get down there.
Goodness, that's all we keep talking about. Oh, and covering the game, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good one there. But definitely, thank you guys for supporting the WUW Crew. There's also competition. We get a bigger take of the Super Chat pot if we're one of the top 2 teams, top 2 shows here. You know, we got WUW Crew, we got Big D Energy, we have Ermanni Edwards, and we have the heavyweights. The top 2 teams with the largest Super Chat pots, they get to take home a larger share, and it helps us get that much closer to Vegas. So I'm telling you guys, we appreciate you all for everything that you're doing to support not just us, but all of the shows as well. I know that everybody has a lot of different things that they're going to do to be able to incentivize our chat family. So thank you guys for all of the support.
Appreciate you guys. Now let me tell you about some merch that we got going on. Head over to woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab. New designs for you every single week. But let me tell you about the ones we got up on screen, the LFG Red Wings t-shirts and hoodies out right now. And you can't forget about the Woodward Tigers as well too, because April 4th is coming sooner than you think, and you need to be decked out in Woodward Sports Tigers gear when you're down there at Comerica Park right now. So head over to woodwardsports.com, just click on that shop tab.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
At Lady Jane's, we talk NBA. Sorry, we take the chore out of getting a haircut. Our talented stylist will deliver an industry-leading haircut, relaxing scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, that's my favorite, and a hot towel treatment. Guys, make sure you ask, don't suggest. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. And we are back, and you know what? The only thing appropriate enough to kind of end NBA talk is if we're talking some Lions. Hey, KG, what is it? TLB, word to our brother Matthew Broder.
Talk Lions, bitch.
Let's talk the Lions. Yeah, there was a little bit of news that happened, and it got social media all riled up. One Darius Slay, and he's been kind of, I love Detroit. We know that he's been there. We know that Darius Slay has visited the city, come back and done camps for players, even after he's left Detroit. But the Eagles did release him yesterday, and now you know where everybody's mind went. You saw our social posts.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, bring Slay home. Everybody, man. If there's anybody in the chat who disagrees with that, I'm curious, man. Put that in the chat. But everybody is saying bring Darius Slay back home.
Hey, and I think I can speak for most of us when I say that he's one of the former Lions that I was most happy for when it comes to him getting a Super Bowl somewhere else, because he dealt with a lot of BS here. Thanks, Matt Patricia, for that. But that was one of my saving graces for me, because I was pretty devastated about what happened to Mahomes and the Chiefs that night. But I was happy for a Darius Slay, but that's neither here nor there. I think Darius Slay, particularly at the right price, would be a very fine addition to this Detroit Lions team. It's not even just because of the sentimental stuff. He was good last year. People give a ton of credit, and rightfully so, to Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, but Darius Slay was a big part of this Eagles defense and a big part of this secondary. Not one of the biggest reasons, but certainly a big piece of the pie as to why the Eagles were able to win the Super Bowl, because in the regular season last year, he played 698 snaps. Even though he's a little long in the tooth, he's 34 years old, he played 698 snaps. He allowed a 50% completion percentage when targeted, which is excellent, a 78 passer rating allowed when targeted, which is excellent, and his playoff numbers were 57% completion allowed and a 93 passer rating allowed, and all of that with which he did helped lead the Eagles to the Super Bowl. So Darius Slay can still play, and on a team that last season with the Lions had a lot of injuries, why not add another guy? While there's uncertainty about are they going to re-sign Carlton Davis, whether there's with the fact that there's uncertainty about is Terrion Arnold going to take that leap, why not insulate the secondary room a little bit more and bring in a Darius Slay? Of course, at a good price, but I don't think he would actually garner that much money.
Especially when you consider how they've tried to do that in the past with veteran cornerbacks like Sutton Toast and even Emmanuel Mosley. I do believe that a guy like a Darius Slay, who, like you pointed out, is still effective, he'll be on the field and also be one of those guys that will uplift his team and help to lead in the locker room. And then just something added, I do believe he would want to win for Detroit. He's one of those guys that reminds me of like Dan Campbell, who chose to come back here, who wanted this job, and then has faced all of those narratives that he was under as a player here head on. And so I do believe that he's a guy that's also going to be Darius Slay, that is motivated to come here and help push this team over the top. No matter how effective he will or won't be on the field, I do believe he's still going to be a good contributor. But ultimately what you're hoping is, aside from what he can give you as a vet in the secondary, is that he can help guys like Ennis Rakestraw, help guys like Terrion Arnold, be able to get to the next level for them as well. All of us have been in positions, even including our journeys here, where the guys who are the veterans of this thing, the legends of this thing, from Rod Beard to Terry Foster to Neil Rule to Ryan Ermanni, and everything they're able to do to assist us, it goes a long way. And I do believe a guy like Darius Slay, who understands this culture already, understands the people, understands what it means to try and win football games here, would be a guy that could come here and perform both on and off the field.
I'm looking at a potential secondary, and obviously this is preliminary of if you could have Darius Slay, Carlton Davis, Terrion Arnold, Ennis Rakestraw, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Amik Robertson.
I was about to say,
I forgot him for a second at the beginning, but I remember just in the nick of time. That to me is very, very formidable. Especially,
I'm grinning.
Yeah, especially, you mentioned it as well. Who would you rather have mentor young guys like Terrion and Rakestraw than Darius Slay? Somebody who's been here before, somebody who left for greener pastures and helped a great team win the Super Bowl. And like I said, Darius Slay can still play. And I don't necessarily like the idea, me personally, of putting too much responsibility on a Terrion Arnold. I think that the Lions there was too much thrust upon his shoulders last year, and some of it was necessitated by injury, but just insulate the younger guys a little bit more. We don't know if Ennis Rakestraw can play yet. That's just the reality. Yep. He didn't play very many snaps. He got hurt. Terrion Arnold's rookie season was up and down, although he did show improvements, but I don't want to leave the hands of a Detroit Lions potential Super Bowl defense in Terrion Arnold playing 1,000 snaps again. No disrespect, just get more there, and Darius Slay is that perfect kind of corner, I think, to either be a starter, depth, rotational. That's what he is at this point in his career.
What up, though, KG?
Eesh, that's some harsh words by Sam there.
What did I say?
Nah, I'm just talking. But, I'm a big fan of Darius Slay. I was hurt when Fat Patricia and Bob Quinn traded my mans away. I was
hurt my soul.
Yes, bro. I'm still not over that, bro. They absolutely assassinated this franchise for no reason at all. Just because you had a problem with them like that. That shit was kind of weak to me.
And
but
the problems was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You ran what?
It made no sense at the time, but he should have never been an Eagle, to be honest. But he went over there. He had success, like Sam said. Absolutely happy for him that he was able to get over that hump and get a Super Bowl to add to his career. I think it's all dependent on whether they want to keep Carlton Davis or not. I would absolutely love a Darius Slay signing back in Detroit because he's somebody that, like you said, understands the city. He knows what we've been through. He loves it here. He speaks highly of Detroit whenever he's in interviews, podcasts. He still has a place in his heart right here in the city of Detroit. So would I mind seeing it? Absolutely not. But if they do sign Carlton Davis, which I believe they will re-sign him, I just don't think it's a space for him on this team because when you look at Terrion Arnold and Sam, I do understand your concerns. I do understand the concerns. I think that, he's a little further along than a lot of people say, but I don't want to hinder his development in this whole thing. And then when you look at everybody else, if they were to re-sign Carlton Davis, you got him, you got TA, you got Amik Robertson. I know there's questions around Rakestraw, but he was a second-round pick, and he got injured his first year. So we just honestly don't know. But I think they invested that draft capital for a reason, and you need to at least see what he has out there. So if they re-sign Carlton Davis, I think our secondary is pretty set as is. When they were all fully healthy last year, they played well together. So I'm leaning on that, and I think we'll be okay with that. But if the opportunity presented itself, or if they just wanted to add, overkill to the secondary, then sure, go out and get a Slay. But as of right now, if they re-sign CD3, I'm good.
It's going to be interesting to see because that was going to be a follow-up question I was going to ask is, do you see the Lions wanting to or being able to fit, Slay and CD3 and Amik Robertson as vet corners on this roster? I do believe they can make it fit.
You could, but where the snaps for TA going to go? And he's a first-round pick. He needs to be, and I get that, but he needs to be on the field. In order for him to develop like we all want him to develop, he needs to see the field. He's a first-round talent. He wasn't that bad. Like I do get it. He wasn't perfect. I'm not saying he was perfect, but he needs to see the field.
Yeah, that my assumption would be that he would see the field, and that a Slay who is coming off a Super Bowl, knowing what situation he's coming back to, would be more in support of being a part of a rotation that can support the secondary than necessarily taken away from the reps. Like I do like the fact that we look at a guy like Jameson Williams and his maturation, and he's going out there publicly and talking about who Teddy Bridgewater was to him. And it's even crazy that it's a quarterback, mentoring a backup, a third string or backup, second string quarterback, mentoring a guy that went out there and realistically looked like a solid number two with number one type potential. And that's where I do say, okay, if Slay can come here and have that type of effect for guys like TA and Ennis Rakestraw while being a part of a rotation, keeping guys fresh, especially after last year, it's like, if we can try to keep these guys fresh and every play kind of have that tandem, similar like we see what the Pistons doing with Jalen Duren start, then Isaiah Stewart come off the bench and he's boxing them too. That's why I do say, you know what, man, let's stock it all up.
Yeah.
Veteran cornerbacks in here that can understand, especially playing against some of the elite quarterbacks we're going to play, how to read and react and how to support even a Calvin Shepard who's just starting his first year off as defensive coordinator.
You mean me? Ha ha ha. No, but no, you're not wrong at all. I'm not saying you're wrong, but if you were to add a Darius Slay, I just feel like that's adding to an area of this team that's not really needed. Now, the thing I was saying yesterday on BDE, and the underlying thing here that we need to be more focused on is the fact that they're letting him go in order to get Myles Garrett. They are trying to cut as much fat as they can. Howie Roseman is making a play to go out there and get Myles Garrett. So I think that's the underlying thing here. Like, yes, it would be nice to have Slay. I would love to have him back home. But the bigger issue is letting Howie Roseman go out and get the arguably best pass rusher in this game right now to a team that you will have to probably compete with for the next 2, 3, maybe 4 years in terms of trying to battle for the NFC.
No, and KG, just to be 100% clear, I'm glad you mentioned that because I've got that on the prep for later to respond to what was
sorry
said.
about that.
Hey,
Blew my wide. Sorry about that.
I love it.
Jumping ahead
I love it when
transitions-
when a transitions happen naturally, but I am by no means trying to imply, even though I would like Darius Slay on this team, that he is the number one target of the Lions. I'm talking about if you can have him here with Carlton Davis, both of them on the same team.
It'd be nice.
Hopefully it would mean that Darius Slay wouldn't cost too much money, but I'm not necessarily sure about that. Myles Garrett is priority number one, priority number two, and certainly having Myles Garrett not go to the Eagles would be, I think, very advantageous for every other NFC team not named the Eagles. So, yeah, with Darius Slay, it's just more about his new availability and how he would fit onto this team because Amit could go back to playing nickel and also another thing that I want to mention because Wheezy D313 mentioned it in the chat is that Carlton Davis has gotten hurt quite a bit in each of his last, I think, 4 seasons, has missed at least 4 games in each of them, and Darius Slay missed 3 last year. So that's another one where it's like if you have both of them on the team, I don't think they all play. I don't personally think that you can count on Carlton Davis and Darius Slay playing all 17 games next year. So that would be another feather in the cap of, okay, if Slay's out, maybe Carlton Davis can play, and if Carlton Davis is out, maybe Slay can play, and maybe TA gets hurt, knock on wood, maybe Rakestraw gets hurt again, knock on wood. It's the Lions defense in injuries. I'm never going to play it too safe.
And that's what I was saying earlier. Like, I could see the world where they definitely have a solid rotation of guys, and it boils down to the mindset of a Darius Slay because KG is right. You want Terrion Arnold to have those reps. You even want, if you believe Ennis Rakestraw is ready, to have more reps and to not have them taken away because you need these guys who are going to be instrumental, like especially Ennis Rakestraw. If he works out, he's not a guy who you're going out there and potentially breaking the bank for, especially if he's on your squad.
He's on a rookie deal.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like, if he works out, good. And this is where I do sit in the kind of on the line of I do believe Darius Slay who can still contribute, and maybe those vets, your Meeks, your CD3s, your Darius Slays, maybe they do go into a position where they're playing more in rotation and stay more fresh. Less opportunities for those guys to get injured, while the younger players, if they're ready, like I liked what Sam said. He slipped it in there.
Yeah.
He was like if he earns it. Like TA go out there and earn it. And I do believe he's gonna earn that. And I do believe Darius Slay, based on at least what he's put out there, is the type of guy who is kind of willing to play his role at this point in time.
I get that, but like I said, your secondary is pretty set, especially when you add in the safety room that you have. Then I just feel like it's a little bit overkill to bring a Darius Slay in here, and now you got to divide up, field share as in terms of him and TA. So overall, like I said, if they want to do that move, I'm not opposed to it at all. But just me as a fan, I want to focus on the defensive line and the linebackers because that's the bigger need on this team right now.
In KG, and I feel like we're gonna have this battle for a while.
We probably will.
And I hope
but you're not wrong, though. No, you're not.
And I hope that Terrion takes a second-year leap. But I feel like this is just, I don't believe in him as much as you do, and I think
but he wasn't.
I know
y'all
he
act
wasn't.
like he was getting cooked.
He wasn't, but I hear BDE has become the Terrion Arnold apologist show. It just has. It just has. When I hear stuff like he doesn't need to improve, or what are we talking about Terrion Arnold?
I don't know who said that, but
Neil.
Yeah.
I want to pull my hair out because of course he needs to improve. Quinyon Mitchell could use some improvement, for crying out loud.
Right.
And we're talking about Terrion Arnold as, he's fine, he's perfect.
Well, I've never said that.
All-pro loading next year if he makes no leap. Come on, that's it. That's all. And for the record, just so I have it on wax, I think that Terrion Arnold will have a better second year than rookie year. Wow.
But he's shown enough to me. And like I said, I'm not one of those people that said he doesn't need to improve at all. Clearly, he needs improvement. But he came in, he held down the number 2 role for most of the year, and then when Carlton went down, he was your number 1.
Yeah.
I think things would have been a lot worse in the playoffs if you didn't have TA out on the field. And that's a fact. That is just a fact.
Got effectively worse when you talk about Aiden Hutchinson not being there. While we saw Terry Arnold take steps forward.
Yeah.
Sometimes without even the pass rush being there.
I
There was a game there where they did wait. And I think that it leads more credence to what you're saying in terms of who he's going to be in his second year. Seeing young players, especially rookies, take and make that type of progress in season to me is a good sign of who they can be those next years. We saw it happen with J-Mo. We saw a little bit of those flashes, and everyone talked about how he ended the season prior. And then we saw him come into this season. It was just like he just hit the ground running. I do believe Terry Arnold will be one of those guys, especially if he's not super flagged at the beginning of the season like he was.
Yeah, and he's only going to do that by getting the reps. That's the only way he's going to learn.
If he has a J-Mo type leap, that would be
yeah.
Then
buy the jersey.
You got your 2 jerseys now.
I don't have a jersey.
Quick.
We will think of a jersey bet for a Terry Arnold. For real. I really.
Yeah, okay.
We'll think
all right, Sam. I like where your head at,
Quick
Paul.
question here, man. You know what, man? That got me fired up, though. I can't wait for that one.
Okay.
Organic Lindo, is Iffy gone? Iffy out to Mother Farmer.
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah.
Let's hope for Iffy.
But he's just, if he's not a bad player by any means, but he's more of a specialist. He was somebody that was primarily used when trying to blitz the quarterback and manufacture pressure. I don't think the Lions, depending on what they add, they might not need that role on this team. And he's not a complete safety, so I can see them letting him go. Unfortunately, it's just, part of the game.
You're right about Ife Melifonwu, especially during the end of 2023, being that blitzing demon safety to manufacture pressure. Yeah. It's just that every time I hear somebody say manufacturing pressure, I expect Sean Baligian to pop up and, and lose his mind. That's his least favorite thing in the world. He's always like, manufacture pressure. It just goes on a tangent about it. But shout out Sean Baligian.
Big shout out.
Shout out to Sean Baligian. I know we got a couple more segments of
maybe
TLB.
Maybe we can follow up on what KG mentioned about how the Eagles clearing some cap when it comes to Slay. Are they making a big run for Garrett?
Because there were some reports as well, man. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting because there's reports all over the place. We still haven't heard officially if the Browns are going to trade him, but I don't know why you would not trade a player who's clearly like, I'm allowed to head out.
Andrew Berry can keep doing all that tough guy shit, that TGT shit. He gonna learn. He gonna learn. Don't let this get past the draft because it's really gonna get bad.
What are the Browns going to do with Myles Garrett?
Exactly.
You saw Myles Garrett. I'm just going to say it. Myles Garrett last season, in terms of players who played the full year, was the best defensive player in football. He didn't dog it. He played hard. He was phenomenal. And the Browns won 3 games.
I wonder how much he's cost himself now because we know the reports. We're going to get into it about one person being the most aggressive. And it's just like, you know what? You probably cost yourself now. Then when it was high desperate time, I assumed that Mr. Brad was willing to will and deal. But now we're at a position where we shall see. And I'm glad, though, that he's been putting in kind of the work already on a Myles Garrett type of a player.
Hey, more on that in just a couple of minutes. But Dr. Pierce?
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. You guys already know you can catch Dr. Pierce every Tuesday on Big Energy, every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards, where he's offering you top-notch injury advice. So you guys got to trust the guy that D-Mac trusts. Because Dr. Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won.
This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Dreaming of a new home, feeling a financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesales.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Hey, what up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and we appreciate you all for kicking off today with the WUW Crew. Hope your day has started off as good as ours. The super chats have been coming in. The likes are going up. Help us reach that like goal. Maybe even a double like goal today. But chat family, as always, you guys are on one. And shout out to the crew. Shout out to the crew, man. Hey, you can let that ride just a little bit. I like that, man. Hey, Matt Broder, that dude Justin, shout out to you guys. Cavassier Chase is in the building working hard. We got Willie B in the sound booth.
Big Willie style.
Go, man, Big Willie style. Good. Hey, and we got Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth. That is JBSmooovv. You said we got a super chat to clean up, brother?
Yeah, actually two from Eric Minion Sr. Shout out to you. $10. He says, people forget that Cade was the only player picked in his draft class to be the face and leader of, and everyone else was paired with other players to help them lead. He also sent in $5 as well, too, saying, let's go get Myles Garrett and bring in Greenlaw at linebacker. Also, our super chat goal, we are literally $1 away from hitting our first super chat goal.
Hey, so somebody's gonna get some merch. JBSmooovv, I'll let you decide what it would be, whether it's some Lions stuff, whether it's some Pistons, Wings, or Tigers.
I mean, Pistons are hot right now.
Pistons are hot. Hey, so you guys better make sure you're in the chat. Wooing one Mr. JBSmooovv. You are what at Woodward Sports account, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right now?
Yep.
Yeah, y'all better make sure you're wooing them. Let's get those likes up as well. Hey, maybe we'll activate another giveaway. But at the next 50, we'll have another giveaway. It'll be your choice. Merch or signed Darren McCarty puck. So let's rock. But you know what? As aggressive as the chat family has been this morning at getting close to these goals, Brad Holmes, he's been identified, according to a report by Kimberly A. Martin, that the Lions were the most aggressive team at last season's trade deadline in pursuing Myles Garrett, and have been in touch with Cleveland about a potential trade. Man. That gets me fired up, because I was told, oh, what are you talking about? It ain't going to happen. It's blah, 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 blah. You know what? It's a situation where I'm glad that Brad Holmes, if there's a chance that you could strike lightning, that he's going to at least be there to try it. And it's not just trying. It says that he was and is aggressive and still pursuing.
I'm going to talk about it until it's dead.
until it's dead.
I'm not gonna
not over till it's over.
belabor the point too much, but when new news comes out, we're gonna talk about it. And it's interesting how, imagine if the Lions would have found a way to make that happen last year at the trade deadline. Maybe we're having a different conversation this year. I know that he doesn't prevent 5 turnovers by the offense, but still, it would certainly have given them a better shot than Zadarius Smith, even though we're grateful for what Zadarius Smith has done and what he will continue to do for these Detroit Lions. But I think it's also interesting because one of the knocks on Brad Holmes, even though he's been a phenomenal drafter and he's made some very, very tactful, not expensive free agent signings and trades, is that, holds on to the picks, isn't willing to try to make a move like this. But when you're trying to go for a Myles Garrett, you can only do so much. The Cleveland Browns last year, I'm not saying that they thought that they had any hope, but Myles Garrett is their franchise player. So trying to trade for him is really effing hard. And I don't think the Browns would have even entertained it at all if Myles Garrett didn't ask for one recently now. But this is the time. This is the time where there's an opportunity. I think the Browns would be absolute fools to not grant his request. And let's hope that the Lions can win the Myles Garrett sweepstakes and that a team like the Philadelphia Eagles does not.
Hey, listen, you called this out very, very early in it. You said not only would it give the Detroit Lions the best bookends in NFL history on that defensive line, with an opportunity to really supercharge this Detroit Lions Super Bowl window. But imagine, and you kind of struck fear in everybody, even the people who were like, it's never going to happen. Stop talking about it. We don't want to, gut our cap space in the near future. And it's like, but what if he goes to the Eagles? What if he goes to the Commanders? And that's where you got to start really, really thinking, what does he do for those teams? Especially a Lions team who, before last season, it looked like everyone was comfortable. Hey, we're going to be sitting at the top of this NFC for a very long time. That's what fans were feeling. That's what I feel still. But Myles Garrett makes it a lot tougher if he's with the Eagles or with the Commanders to be able to cash in on that.
Oh, yeah. And obviously, we know Howie Roseman is a power broker. He's probably the best GM in football. I'd say either him or Brett Veach right now, with Brad Holmes being in that second tier. I think if the Eagles were to make this move, and I'm not saying that they will, it's just something that was theorized on BDE with the Eagles clearing $4.3 million of cap space from releasing Slay. If the Eagles are able to get Myles Garrett and then probably by extension just letting Josh Sweat walk, they're the prohibitive favorite to repeat as Super Bowl champions. And I don't want that as a Lions fan. I don't want a team where I'm like, damn, I love what we've got, but those Eagles, man, I don't know if we can beat them. I don't want that situation. But I also think that if the Lions were to get Myles Garrett and win those sweepstakes, that they would be the Super Bowl favorite. And if I'm looking at their fully healthy roster, probably prohibitive as well. If you're getting Myles Garrett and the Eagles are not, that is huge. That is a balance of power type of shift in the NFC.
KG?
Yeah, I mean, to me, this is pretty base level. I mean, if you're an NFL GM and a competent one, of course you are calling about Myles Garrett. You're still in the market for Myles Garrett, him being available. And it doesn't really surprise me because, we heard reports back in 2023 that Brad Holmes tried to get Danielle Hunter at the deadline and just fell through. Now you're hearing that this past season he did try to make an attempt at Myles Garrett. And, of course, if he's calling about Zadarius Smith, of course he inquired about Myles Garrett. I mean, I think that just makes sense. I think Brad Holmes is in this thing until he's not, or until they present a situation where he's not willing to go past a certain line. So I'm okay with that as a fan. As long as you're out there, you're trying to make stuff happen, I'm okay with that as a fan. There's no guarantee that this will work or that it will go through, but if it does, oh my God, this team will look completely different. And I really feel like that's your Super Bowl winning move if you were to go get somebody like that. But for the people that's like, like Nasty T, shout out Nasty T in the chat. He's like, oh, if you want us to trade the draft picks, you don't trust Brad Holmes. Well, I could say the same thing about you. If you don't want to go get a Myles Garrett, you must not trust Brad Holmes because
Brad Holmes is pursuing this. That's the report.
Exactly. For one, being a GM is not just about drafting players. It's also about managing the books. And Brad Holmes has been great about managing the books. And trust me, he would not be calling and inquiring about a move like this if he cannot facilitate a move like this. So I think us as fans that are kind of doubting this thing, we need to chill out just a little bit. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if anybody can pull this off, it is Brad Holmes, and they have the cap space and everything that they need in the organization to be able to pull off a move like this, which is why he continues to call about a guy like Myles Garrett.
But remember, KG, you can only be a true Brad Holmes fan if you're a draft bro.
Right.
That's the only way. That is the only way. There's insane like Brad Holmes gatekeeping going on right now, and you have to be a draft bro. You cannot expect any move in free agency like a Myles Garrett, or else you don't believe in Brad Holmes, even though Brad Holmes is aggressively pursuing it. I'm so glad you brought that up, KG. But JB, by all means, the floor is yours.
Oh, no, Kool-Aid, did you have something to say before?
Oh, no, you're good, brother.
All right, I was just going to agree with you guys. Like, I know when Brad Holmes was doing the little press conference at the draft combine earlier, I was a little concerned because it was, kind of questioning and alarming a little bit. Like, all right, so we're not going to try and pursue a Myles Garrett? Like, we're not going to try and do this? But, I mean, given this rumor, whether it's true or not, like, hey, he was aggressively trying to get Myles Garrett and is still trying to do that as well, too. It brings a sense of comfort to all the Lions fans, because honestly, I think a lot of us were just going to be like, hey, you know what, screw it, we'll just draft somebody and then keep it moving from there. But seeing that he's like still aggressively trying to do this, it puts a lot of that at ease. And now, I mean, keep trying it, keep going at it. I mean, eventually, hell, the Browns you're going to wear the Browns down eventually, because Myles Garrett obviously doesn't want to be there. He wants to leave. So it's whether or not, hey, you're going to accept our offer or not, either or.
I wonder how much goodwill goes into it for Myles Garrett, knowing Brad Holmes was already trying.
Mm-hmm.
He was already trying, and aggressively. Like, that's what I like to hear, is that Brad Holmes went out there and already knew, if I'm coming to, the batting cage, I'm hitting it out the park. That's just the only way you do this thing if you're talking about a Myles Garrett at all. And that, to me, is what encourages me, if this becomes a possibility, that maybe the Lions are in a good place with them. I know when you look back at even Troy Weaver, and there was a couple trade deadlines in a row where him and the Knicks came up in conversations, but nothing ever was consummated. But then during the draft, after 2 trade deadlines over 2 seasons, then the draft comes, and then bam, you see a trade go down that they had been effectively putting together the framework of over that season, and they were able to secure Jalen Duren in that deal too. And Troy did talk about the fact that, we had already had kind of a rapport with them. We kind of had already had a relationship. We had already been talking. We were already like, you know what? We can help each other, and we want to. And so I'm wondering, and I am hoping as well, that if Myles Garrett is on the move, if the Browns decide, I'm hoping that Brad Holmes is one of those guys that are like, you know what? He was the most aggressive at pursuing this. Myles Garrett knows this as well. Yeah. And that has to mean something. We heard Darius talk about it too.
Yeah, I do agree with that. And, I've said this over the last couple of days, and I will continue to say it. The longer this goes, the more this favors the Lions, because, what I'm getting from Andrew Berry lately is kind of, like I said, TGT. Like, he trying to go up there and be the tough guy. And even if you think back to when they traded for Darius Smith, the word on the street was they wanted a 3rd-round pick. And he had to finagle in order to get him down to a 5th-round pick. So Andrew Berry playing hardball it's not going to work out for them in the long run. Yeah, exactly. Because the longer this goes, if you get past the draft and you haven't traded him, now you have to worry about the fact that this guy might sit out games. He's made it clear that he wants nothing to do with the organization now. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to take another snap for the Browns. He's already denied a contract extension. What are you doing by holding on to him? You're just making your situation worse. It's going to get nastier in the media, and you're just putting yourself in a position to where your compensation when you do trade him, because you will trade him, your compensation isn't going to be what you thought it was going to be because you waited too long to trade him.
Stunting your own ability to rebuild.
This
is supposed to be your chip to go out there and push that forward. You know what? The one thing we know, at least for Brad Holmes, no matter how much people love Matthew Stafford, when it was time to pull that proverbial trigger as it relates to we have to get better really, really fast, he went out there and he had to do that. He made the trade of Stafford for Goff. He got the extra draft capital. He got a quarterback that he had a ground first level view of. in Jared Goff and believe that we can win here. And he also got the draft capital necessary to try and help accelerate, which it did, this rebuild. And when you look at the Browns, it's just like, you're going to really play yourself into what? Because the closer this thing gets to his contract being done, it's just like, yeah, you might get some team to go out there and bite. But at what cost to you now?
Right.
I can't wait till some of those offers leak, because I would assume that what he was probably being offered at the trade deadline by the Lions is not what he's going to get now.
Yeah, I believe that.
Hey, and I just have to call this out because
I saw that over
You're
there.
right. He over there stewing, looking at the. You know when you look at the computer screen too long.
I'm not
even had to.
Yeah.
They're going out there and saying, "Hey guys, this is what you're going to talk about," because we're talking about it.
I also think it's a little bit of fear just from Lions fans because we've never made a move like that. So we not used to. They don't want to get their hopes up in that. Exactly. Right. We're not used to making a move like that. So.
Come on. All right, I think we're good.
Oh, we are?
And we're back.
Hey, what up, though? And you know what?
We did hit our chat goal, though, by the way.
What, a second one?
Not the second. We're on our way to a second one, but yeah, we're over our $50 chat goal as it is. So
hey, we'll start to get your winner ready. Make sure you guys are wooing one Mr. JBSmooovv in the chat. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, run those lights back up, especially right now, man. Reload if you can. We will be back up. And we are very, very close to that like goal as well, because the chat family has been epic today. Yeah. Listen, we've hit that goal every single day for our super chats. We've hit that goal every single day for our likes. And that is a testament to who you guys are. And it's going to continue to spur us to go further and further. Y'all see I got my Cobra Kai No Mercy shirt on, KG.
Yes, sir. I see it.
That, right, KG?
I see it.
Right?
Hey, I don't want no smoke. I don't want no problem.
No, man, this is what it's about, man. And to be able to get in here and talk all of our teams and to follow reports. We're not up here just having conversations about what we think and what we feel. We literally are covering reports that Brad Holmes was aggressive and Brad Holmes is pursuing.
Yeah.
That's what we're discussing.
Yeah.
And all these people believe Brad would never. Listen, bro, I just think what are you talking about? This is the report. Clearly Brad would.
It's the draft bros. It's the like seriously, there is a Brad Holmes fandom section led by Anson that are the draft bros.
Led by Anson.
Like it's almost like if you hear a report like that, you just want to go like la 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 and almost don't believe it because Brad Holmes, he's a drafter. He doesn't do stuff like that. It's like, well, he is. If he was most aggressively pursuing Myles Garrett in the past trade deadline, I tend to believe it because at that time, the Lions were, I wouldn't say desperate, but they lost Aiden Hutchinson. And if you bring in Myles Garrett, you basically replace him, maybe even get a little bit better. And that makes sense. It's logical. And I just ask that if you're going to be a Brad Holmes draft bro, if he makes a move like this via a trade or makes a big free agency splash, if it's let Brad cook,
you let him cook all the way around.
Whatever ingredients you want, whether you like it or not, you got to live with it.
Yeah, thank you, Sam. If you trust Brad Holmes, you'll trust if he trades the draft picks. Like, it's not just, let him draft. Like, it's a lot more going into being a GM than just, let's go draft players. I'm telling you, if y'all trust Brad Holmes, then you'll trust whatever the hell he does.
Let me ask you guys, how insane and crazy does it sound when you say bookends Aiden Hutchinson and Myles Garrett?
Insane.
Best
Y'all
ever.
don't think it sound that way to Brad Holmes? It's just these opportunities don't come up that way.
Exactly.
You don't get, so now you know this is a straight up, this is one of those moves where it's chess. This is not a checkers one. This is one where you improve greatly by bringing this guy here. But I promise you, if he's on the move to one of those top NFC teams, you don't want to have to deal with that while we're sitting here also talking about we probably need to make an addition or two to this offensive line right now. Mm-hmm. It's just like, I don't know, man.
And no, I'm so glad you said that because people act like we just talking about anybody off the fucking street. This is a generational Hall of Fame talent. He's Hall of Fame right now and he's still active and playing. He's still got a lot more left in the tank. He's already in the Hall of Fame. This isn't just anybody. This doesn't just happen every fucking day.
But go back to the trade deadline 2 years ago and look at some of the players people were more vehemently like 4. He has to go out and get someone for the trade deadline. Do y'all remember that 2 years ago?
Yeah.
You were in the booth while I was getting some opportunities up here, man.
I remember.
And I'm just like, and now Myles Garrett is a possibility. It's clear that they actually went after them. It's clear that they were trying to pursue. And now all of a sudden people are saying, no, let's not talk about that. That's not worth the look. If Brad Holmes believes it's worth the look, if you're a Brad bro, what's the deal?
Yeah.
I don't get it, man.
No, and Wheezy, you are wild, bro. Also, if y'all want trust Brad Holmes, make sure you all walk it back when we don't trade for that bum. Bro.
If we don't trade for it, then it's going to be because he didn't think
Bum?
that the deal was worth it. But they've clearly been talking.
The players that you glaze that are 1/100th of athletes that Myles Garrett are, but you call Myles Garrett a bum is just...
Yeah, it's crazy.
I want to just like jump out of my skin right now. And Wheezy, you're a very valuable member of the chat, but I don't get it. And second of all, to respond to that, I've never fancied myself as just a Brad Holmes can do no wrong person. Obviously, the track record is way more good than bad, and what he's done to take this team out of the depths of hell into being a Super Bowl contender is commendable. But I think when you lose critical thought when it comes to anybody, especially someone like Brad Holmes who hasn't gotten us a ring yet, although he's on the path, then you might as well not even do a show.
And how much is too much? Because I see Weezy, he's like, he likes Garrett the player, but he's not trading multiple picks for Garrett the player.
But if Brad Holmes is willing to do that, you might not do that.
But that's the thing. How much is too much for a Myles Garrett type of a player? Understanding the impact that you get at least in the next couple of years.
But this is where we have to give Brad Holmes credit for being intelligent. I'm sure he has a line that he is not willing to go past regardless, of what happens. So we have to trust in the fact that he's not going to handicap this franchise to the point just for one effing player. But at the same time, he knows what it's going to take to get a guy like that. It's going to take multiple firsts, and that's just to start the conversation. That's just to get in the club, as Neil would say. He knows what he's doing here. So I think that, by saying that, we're just insulting his intelligence a little bit. He's always thinking about the future. Always.
Here's the question, though, and this is something that got brought up on BDE yesterday, and KG, I think you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I think I do.
Both Spenny and Sean both went to 3 first-round picks if it gets us Garrett and prevents the Eagles from getting Garrett. I think of that, and I'm like, I'd probably be okay with it, but that's so tough, and I'm not a draft bro, but 3 first rounds.
You gotta win that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we do have the video if you want me to play it.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and play it.
Tee that up.
We might have some breaking news here.
Breaking Lions news?
Breaking yes.
Oh wait, nope, that is not it. Never mind.
Oh, that's all right. It was
I
just
think
that was the video of them just Neil mentioning, they're with them releasing Darius.
They're going after
that was a Darius Slay.
But 3 first rounds is pretty steep. I know, KG, you mentioned 2 firsts and a third, maybe the 2 firsts and that pick you got from Aaron Glenn being hired. I would do that in a heartbeat. 3 firsts is.
That's rough.
Look, Dr. 151, he put this in all caps. Nothing is too much for Myles Garrett. I mean, look what Cleveland gave him for Watson.
Well, and second of all, if you're Andrew Berry and you don't accept 3 first-round picks,
you need to be fired. Point blank, period.
Fired. That would supercharge your rebuild in a way that you need so much if you're the Cleveland Browns. Like I said, Myles Garrett, they weren't doing anything with him. He was phenomenal last year, and they won 3 games. Like, one superstar all-time edge when the whole rest of the organization is rot doesn't do you any good. It doesn't. They need to start over.
And I look, Brad Holmes is also cooked up with those 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and some 6th-round picks.
Exactly.
So I'm just like, if you are a Brad bro, and you got to come up off of a couple 1st-round picks, but this year, largely, everything else is intact for your draft capital. That is playing with dynamite. You're telling me Brad's going to have, some of those 2nd, 3rd, 4th-round picks to go with a potential Myles Garrett? That's what I'm just like, for at least, you're talking about this immediate window, that's where I'm like, let Brad cook. Clearly, he wanted to do that option.
And this is where Wheezy and I can kumbaya a bit. He goes, 3 firsts for Micah would make me happier. Give me that as well. You obviously can't do both, but 3 firsts for Micah. I mean, obviously 3 firsts isn't the most ideal, but I'm not mad at you for preferring Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is an absolute demon, and I'm a bit of a stan on him, as I've had to fend off some of you about him. But
I don't know if
give me
Shai's
Micah
trolling.
Parsons too.
I don't
Not
know if Shai's
two, but
trolling or not, but he's like 4 first-round picks and 2 7th-round picks.
Jesus Christ.
okay, that's
Yeah.
He's got to be
You
trolling.
can't even
right?
trade for it first, I don't think. Jesus Christ, man.
Goodness gracious. JB, do we got any super chats to clean up?
Just a few. Just like I said, we
A
have
lot
hit
of-
our first super chat goal, on the way to our second one as well too. Shout out to everyone donating as well. Where I leave off at $1 from Flannel's favorite friend, Robert Sloppy Toppenheimer, just to get
That's
into
when we were at 49, so he helped us get over.
He helped us get over there as well too. Burns sent in another $2. Who is the Pistons team rival? I think that's a good question.
Yeah, Pacers.
all right. Yeah, Pacers.
Pacers? KG, what you think?
No, definitely the Pacers.
Pacers?
Yeah.
All right, I agree with
Like
that.
JB
Pacers.
Bickerstaff cussed at him this year.
Oh,
From the press conference.
Yeah, man.
And I'll tell you what, if you're the Pacers, not to bring it back to Pistons talk, but imagine the pressure that they would feel as an organization and as a fan base.
They gotta win.
Because there's still an element to this Pistons season, even though I know we don't feel that way, that if they lose in the first round of the playoffs, there's still a little bit of a house money element. For the Pacers, if they lose to the Pistons, they
can't do that.
like Indianapolis will be devastated.
Trajectory of free agency. Like, I'm so serious.
Yeah.
Oh, beat the freaking Pacers. I love it.
Beat the Pacers.
damn Pacers. Greg 2025 $4.99 WUW Crew goal. That's when we hit our
Shout
goal
out,
as well,
Greg.
too. Shout out. $1.99 from Demetrius Hurt. He says, "F them picks, go get Garrett." Plain and simple.
We're gonna have to get them T-shirts.
We definitely gonna have to get some
Garrett,
T-shirts.
Then definitely print those. F
Oh, it's over with.
F them pick shirts.
Definitely, man.
Man.
That's the way we will celebrate that. That's all the super chats for now. You got
Oh
some
no,
more?
we still got more.
What?
We got more, yes. There's more.
One today. I'm saying, Greg 2025. He sent in another $9.99 just to help out the fellas. $2 once again from Eric Minion.
I
Sr.
love this comment.
He said some fans want to buy Spam instead of steak.
You so on point, Eric. You are so on point, my dog.
Some people just want their pizza without lettuce on top. It's like, goodness gracious, you uncouth individuals. Shout out, Flannel.
And finally, one more from Burn. Another $5. Shout out to him once again. Brad doesn't care about picks. He cares about value.
Yes.
He trades up and down the board. He has traded for players. He hasn't done until he does. I don't know.
He hasn't done it until he does.
Yeah, okay,
no, I get
all
what
right,
he's
there
saying
we go.
right there. But yeah, the same people that love when Brad Holmes trades up in the draft, you trading the picks anyway. So I just don't understand. Like if you don't want him to trade for Myles Garrett, then you must not want him to trade up in the first round or trade up in the draft.
No,
period.
dead serious. And
That's a really good point.
we've seen Brad Holmes do this numerous times in the first round. And when it happens,
Yeah, right there. Just checking on my guy, man.
when it happens, when Brad Holmes does,
We tried to keep our faith.
Well, I swear.
Will,
That shit
I
was
didn't know what
live.
happened.
are you alive? Are you still with us?
My man in the booth balking up.
man, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah,
Let's go to break.
We tried to just go like that happened.
Meanwhile, there was like carnage going on in the
Right.
Stuff.
Oh,
You
shit.
read the read.
What we got?
They got to follow us. On socials.
Oh yeah.
Hey, definitely. Listen, people. Socials has been absolutely on fire at Woodward Sports. Not just for the engagement that you guys give us, but everything we're also able to give away to you all. There's been so many merch giveaways. There's been ticket giveaways. There's been passes to opening day giveaways. That's right around the corner. I already told Stick, bro, we need them passes. We need those opening day passes for our chat family. So I want to make sure that you guys can earn all that you can. Not just here on the show with the Super Chat giveaways, but also on our social media. So make sure you guys are staying connected with Woodward Sports on all social media platforms. Follow along on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok for the latest sports news, live updates, behind the scenes action, those giveaways. Don't miss out. Hit that follow button now and be a part of Detroit's #1 digital sports network at Woodward Sports everywhere.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, you know, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. You got Tully, everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
You got to be here with us on these breaks, man. I'm telling you right now. But all right, Woodward sports fans, whether you're hitting the game or just simply chilling, Jars Cannabis has you covered. Jars is home to Michigan's largest line of recreational cannabis products. With 27 locations across the state, they are repping Michigan in a very big way. 9 locations alone in Metro Detroit, so there's always a location near you. Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, Milan, Michigan, get ready because new stores are coming your way as well too. Head over to jarscannabis.com where you can get your favorite product today because you know what? I know you want to get high.
Hey, what up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. This has been a show, and I don't know what it is, but the shows are just zooming by now. Yeah. I have no idea what it is. Yesterday, when I looked down, I was like, oh my gosh, we're right at the end of the show. Another one as well, where it's just been an awesome conversation, awesome dialogue. You guys have been smashing that like button, sending in the super chats to get
got another one.
Vegas. Shout out to you guys, chat family. I'm telling you guys, we can't thank you enough. It is very much appreciated. And I know that's something we can do to show that appreciation. Bring everybody's favorite segment. I think it's time to spark up Word to Jars, Mr. JBSmooovv.
Let's do it.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Ladies and gentlemen, JBSmooovv.
Yo, what's up, chat family? What's going on, fellas? I got a news piece for you today. Now, I never sit here and say I'm a fan or a huge fan of art, but I will say this, and I had to bring it to your guys' attention because an Italian artist just sold a sculpture for $18,000. I want you guys to let me know if you would buy this for $18,000. It's invisible, by the way.
Oh, come on, dog. Oh, he got down. What? Oh, he got down.
It is an invisible sculpture for $18,000.
What Rivers mean right now?
He finesse, bro.
Like,
they got there, call me.
How does this happen?
I don't know.
Who allows this stuff?
Rich elite people. That's who allows this stuff to happen.
Did he like describe it so people bought the mental picture?
Well, yes, he did describe it. He says the artwork has no physical form, no shape, no size or color, yet it is certified and authenticated and has installation instructions as well.
We're just trying to get to Vegas and give real content, and my man got $18,000 for no content.
Hey, for anybody that auctioned on that or bought that, I got a timeshare wherever you want that I can sell you for real, because that's crazy. That's crazy
you
work.
Rewarded that man for this type of tomfoolery. God,
this is crazy.
I ain't heard tomfoolery in so long.
Yes, I am an old man, and yes, this is tomfoolery.
Tomfoolery.
Man,
this. Hey, $18,000.
Look, Will in disbelief.
Look at Will's face, dog.
Will is stuck. He has no words.
What up, though, Will?
No,
Will,
no,
you
no.
good?
And they call me slow growing up. Ain't that a bitch?
Stop. This is best morning show, dog.
Oh, shit. You can't tell me this ain't the best morning show on earth, bro. Oh my God.
So I don't have any gym fails today, but I do have a refrigerator delivery fail.
Oh, yes. Let's see it.
Oh, no.
Yep, watch your step.
I could relate.
The ring camera is
My
ready.
man's watch your step. Watch your step.
Oh, no. This is going to hurt, isn't it? Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, my man bow-legged. He swung that leg around.
Oh,
Oh,
your homie.
Damn.
Yo, man.
I got a story
sometime.
about this.
Oh, no. Is he straight?
Well, you done crashed out on the refrigerator wheel?
Well,
We know you fell off a ladder. You already fell off a ladder once.
No, it happened by my best friend. We moved a refrigerator to try to go in the room. The top part knocked him out by accident. Bam.
Damn.
It missed me. But
It missed me.
It missed me. It missed me, but it missed my best friend. I had to carry him to the couch.
It missed me.
Damn.
And I've blamed ever since. I'm like,
come on.
It missed
It missed me.
It missed me.
I'm cool.
Right.
I'm good.
I ain't getting knocked out by no fridge. I ain't about no.
it missed me, but it hit my friend. I felt bad, but I had to grab him.
Y'all killing me, dog.
Just brought the flashbacks, huh?
Yes, I do. It brought,
So you were the one that we see right here.
yeah. But it
Dog.
missed me.
Hold on,
Hey,
man.
Yeah, that's it right there on top of the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you all right? Goodness
I was
gracious.
scared, man. Like, damn. He said, it's your damn fault. I said, why you got me? I try to help.
Dog, hold on. My man was bow-legged as hell coming up the stairs. Though, did you see him swing his leg? Like, that shit didn't even look natural,
It looked
bro.
like a dance scene in a country western movie. or
Yeah,
something.
like, that shit was wild, bro.
His legs look like,
Damn.
still look like with Woody. His legs for the adults coming.
Like, what?
He's coming and then the legs just like.
Right. Just gave out, right? Oh, my God. Dog, I'm finna cry, dog. Y'all is dumb as hell. Dog, hold on, look at my man leg when he come up these stairs, bro. I swear to God, this shit look crazy. It's like a boomerang, bro. This shit look crazy. Like, why is your leg moving like that, dog? Hold on, here it is.
You gotta
Here it
swing. You gotta
is.
swing that around.
What the fuck is that?
You gotta swing. Oh.
Dog, I hope homie is okay. Because
Oh,
that refrigerator
shit.
look heavy. For both of them already trying to carry it, man.
That shit. This what happens when you hire two men in the truck, bro. You gotta go bigger than that if you want that fridge in the house. God.
Y'all give me too many memories, man.
The dog spoon said I'm crying.
Well, damn. But hopefully, Will, this next video doesn't give you any memories. But I know for sure we all have had a friend like this. Just know, knock it off.
Oh no, we fighting, bro.
Yeah, let's swing on this.
Yeah, come on, man. That's ridiculous. We got a scrap, bro.
Punch,
Yeah.
elbow to the nose.
We can be cool
He said
afterwards,
elbow
but
to the
Elbow to the
nose.
nose, man. Oh, you hit me too hard. Okay, man. My bad.
Did this happen to you before?
Not much. No.
oh, it ain't happened to Will.
No.
It
Got
missed
some
me.
flashbacks.
I
Man.
know.
I can see it.
It missed me.
You missed me? Okay, I connect.
Yeah, dog. Like we can still be cool afterwards. We got to shoot the ones, man. We got to square up. Like you hit me this many times.
We got to fade up. That's
Yeah.
it.
This isn't acceptable. Like, he just laughs like that. You know? No.
No,
You're
he
like-
does
you're like
this
a-
often. You can tell.
Yeah.
You're like a hazard at this point.
You're a hazard.
He definitely does this often. And finally, I will end what's trending with this. Guys,
Mark said he's just straight bullying his homie.
I mean, he was pretty much.
Goodness.
But finally, I will end what's trending with this. Guys, question. How much is too much to grab a loose ball when it's on the floor?
Oh.
Okay.
There is no limit.
Oh God.
No limit?
Sam the hustle man out here. He can have that. There's a limit for me.
Crash test.
How about teeth? Is teeth a limit?
Oh.
No.
Big limit.
I want to see this.
Oh no.
Yes, teeth is a limit.
Oh,
Big
no.
limit.
Oh,
shit. Oh, I know that
I
hurt.
gotta check my teeth. They're still there.
They
I'd
are
have-
picking
oh,
his
my
teeth
God.
off the
chiclets.
floor.
Oh, he lost teeth for real.
Damn.
Oh. Yeah, that's tough. I've
makes
fallen
me
on my
smile.
face like this before, but I not hard enough to like dislodge teeth. That's tough. But no, that's painful, bro.
And that's a great distinction because have we taken those falls? Yeah, but
Yeah,
losing
but-
teeth, that's a whole nother level of. Golly, I don't even want to think about that.
Ah,
Picking up
They
your
literally
teeth
picking his
after
teeth
a
off the
play.
floor.
That's rough.
My man is in pain.
JB, was
bro.
this recent? This just
Yeah, so this was recent during this college basketball season. I'm not too sure when the game was, but yeah, it was recent.
My
So
man is in pain.
yeah,
Ass in the straw.
Hope Oklahoma hung on to that victory.
I
yeah.
hope they did.
Yeah.
That dinner
Otherwise, it was
disappointment
for
is not
nothing.
gonna be kind to you,
No.
man. Oh my goodness.
But that's it for what's trending, you guys. Let's hop in some mailbag while we got some time.
Definitely, man. What friends do you want us to say what up though to? And make sure you start to pick that winner as well, so we can get that.
I think we
announced.
just got Feldman.
Absolutely.
All right.
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
You know what? I see you, Big Con 51, just in time for the Wake Up with Woodward mailbag segment presented by the Feldman Automotive Group. Big Con 51, he says, do you think Brad will let CD3 walk if we get Garrett? Slay would be cheaper. Can we give Garrett and CD3 the contract they both want?
You can, but it would probably mean you can't do a whole lot else.
I mean, Garrett already said he would restructure his current deal with whatever team that he goes to. So if that's the case and you can restructure, then I think you can get him and Carlton Davis. Because I don't think Carlton Davis will cost you an arm and a leg, especially with the cap going up like it did. You have a little bit more in the tank to go out and make a move like that.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm seeing Michigander 1212 Feldman mailbag. What is more likely to happen? The Tigers win the division but lose in the divisional, or be a wild card and make the ALCS?
A wild card and make the ALCS, to me.
Yeah, I would say the first one, but I already said that they will be a wild card team. I really don't feel like they can win the division. I don't. Not at this point, especially with the injuries piling up, which we're going to have to talk about soon because starting to get a little worried.
For sure.
Starting to get a little
For
bit.
sure.
Hey, John Effin Lord, and I love the way he's talking. He's speaking this into existence. He's saying, Feldman Mailbag, you guys should go to Heart Attack Grill when you guys go to Vegas. Can you guys vlog the experience? Everything is going to be content.
Oh, yeah.
Everything. Like, that's
I've seen
it's gonna be
video.
like you guys are with us.
I've seen video on that place before because my wife likes to watch travel vlogs and stuff like that. I heard the food there is more for like show. It ain't really like the best tasting food in the world, but you know, we check it out though. We absolutely would check it out.
Definitely will, definitely. And, I guess one from me as it relates to these Detroit Pistons. How you guys feeling about them right now? You're looking at 35 wins on the season, 20 games left to go.
I feel
if
like
they just go 500 the rest of the way, they're at 45.
Yep.
If they go slightly above, they hit that 46 mark. If they go greatly above, they're at that 51 mark. How are people feeling?
4 seed. That's
4
how I'm
seed?
feeling. Just as simple as that.
I feel like 51 and the 4 seed. And we'll be talking to Ride tomorrow. Can't wait.
You know what? I can't
wait.
Wait for that, man. But
Might get 2 more sticky notes added.
Yeah. No, that's sticky note, man. You talk about things that go into the Hall of Fame at WSN. That was one of those moments. But,
How many sticky notes can KG add by the end of the season?
Over under 10.
We're gonna have to have that counted.
Over under 10 and a half. I'm already up to like 3 now. So
Hey, and you know what? We'll do this one before we wrap up as well. Feldman Mailbag to our Woodward ringside host,
Hey.
JB and KG. What is your reaction to Rhea Ripley losing to, is it Io Sky?
Io Sky.
Yeah.
Hey, Io Sky last night for the Women's Championship title.
JB, I'll let you go first because you already know I mispredicted this one. I'm shocked, but go ahead.
I was gonna say I mispredicted this one as well too. I thought it was going to be easy, Rhea versus Bianca at WrestleMania, but I remember texting you like they've got some twists and some turns that WWE's trying to do right now for all the main events at Mania as well. So this is probably one that's going to be added to it. I will say the afterwards from Rhea Ripley, when she's just walking around in the backstage and they're trying to interview her, she looks like she's legit upset. Like she might go and rip somebody's head off. So I'm curious to see where they go with her story leading into Mania, but I mean, who knows? I'm excited for her though.
Yeah, no, this could be another heel turn for Rhea, absolutely. But man, WWE is in their bag right now in terms of unpredictability. Like, I thought the money match would be Bianca and Rhea, two of the best women doing it right now. But I've been telling you, JB, about Io Sky, man. Like, she has been putting on. I'm glad she's getting the recognition that she deserves for going out there and just being so great in the ring. And I'm looking forward to how this is gonna play out, man. Because WrestleMania is getting crazy. It's getting crazy.
And credits to Io as well too. She is the first women's champion to win both iterations of the women's title belt.
Nice.
Yeah, so she's the first woman to win those two different belts. So
she should have won the Rumble. I told you she was my pick for the Rumble.
Yeah,
she should have won there, but good to see her get her come up in.
But you know, you can't pass the Queen, baby.
Yeah, F the Queen. No.
Hey, and you know what? If you guys want more of that type of content, we're ringside covering all of your fighting pleasure. Hey, Woodward Wings as well.
Yes, sir. Big up my guys.
Recording soon, right?
Yes, recording today a trade deadline preview show, and it should be out later today.
Nice.
Me and Justin are each going to give some moves that we would like to see Steve Yzerman and the Red Wings consider.
Hey, tap in. I'm telling you right now, it's available for members. The audio of these podcasts, they do go to Spreaker as well, so you can find wherever you get your podcast, you can find Ringside, you can find Wings. You're going to start finding even more NFL shows, NBA shows, with Pistons, Pod, and some other things that are coming to the network, and I can't wait. It's all because of the support that you guys give us. So I think that's the show, huh?
Yep.
Thank you, chat family, for what you do. JBSmooovv, you got that winner?
Yeah, so just scrolling up and down here, I think I got to go with my man, Eric Minion Sr.
Hey, shout out.
Eric Minion Sr.
He not eating spam. My man eating on steak.
Steak.
And you know what? Greg 2025, man. We'll get you too. Eric Minion Sr., Greg 2025, both of you guys. Email me, Kool-Aid at woodwardsports.com. You are our winners for merch giveaway today. You guys have helped us get that much closer to Vegas and that much closer to if we be one of those top 2 teams taking home that pot this month in Super Chat Gold. So we'll get this chest pass going. We'll get this show closed up. Hey, that's a bucket, man. Where's my man Casey? Shout out to Matt.
I have no words.
Shout out to Matt and Justin. We love y'all. We got our guy Kavasi Chase in the building. He is working tough. He is clad in his Central Michigan gear with the locks flowing. In this elite booth today, man, the sound booth. We got our guy Willie B. He did survive.
He did.
Catastrophe was going on in there. What about Willie B?
Oh man, usually, you know, being me being me, you know, as usual, being clumsy is my charm. So in that case, you know, you can see unexpected things happen out of nowhere. So in that case, you probably get used to it.
Okay, thanks for the warning.
Shout out to Willie B. I don't go to the games on Friday nights for religious observation. But my man Willie B still saving parking spot for WUW.
Nice.
Hey, I just want to make sure I shout you out. That type of stuff that he does, not just me.
No problem, man. I made sure that the dang sheriff department came in and tried to take the spot, man.
You was gonna square up with the cops?
He hit me up like Dennis Archer asked if he was sponsored, right?
Yeah, like it is Dennis Archer, bro. Like, you gotta give it up, man.
I said this mayor.
You going against the mayor? Was it Dennis Archer or Dennis Archer Jr.?
Man, I think it was Dennis Archer shooting because the sheriff hit the.
Yeah, I used to know Dennis Archer Jr. when I worked at Central Kitchen.
Just the security reasons, so I said, okay, fair enough.
Woodward Sports MVP in that TD booth. JBSmooovv, what up, though?
Hey, what's going on, chat family? Appreciate you guys donating today as well. Like I said, it all goes to a bigger cause for us to get to Vegas and for us in general as well too. I'm bringing in some signed merch as well too. I'll get with Kool-Aid. We'll figure out what day we want to drop certain merch, you know, we're gonna basically give out to you guys, whoever donates. And also Woodward Ringside coming up later on this afternoon as well too. It'll be dropping, so me and KJ, hell, we might just do another show this Thursday too.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know.
It's getting crazy.
It's been
right
exciting
now.
though.
Hey, the more the better. Hey, Terrell Lamar, will y'all give away cards? I'm on it. Yeah.
Oh,
Definitely
yeah.
gonna-
There's some
we
cards.
got more than that.
He has some cards he wants to give away too. A part of the giveaway is he's going to be at Vegas Summer League as well, getting content.
Hey, shout out.
Junior. But we got our guy KG, Detroit's #1 draft pick, WUW Sports Rookie of the Year, and going for that MVP. That's Black Hollywood over there. What up?
And also tag team champions of the world with my boy JB over there.
Let's do it.
Hey, man, it's just something slight, but no, y'all know the spiel, man. Shout out to everybody joining us today. We had around 400, almost 450 of y'all. We absolutely appreciated all the super chats throughout the show. Y'all don't know how much this means, man. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to my team. I love y'all, man. Let's keep doing this, man. Let's keep it going.
That was the concurrent.
Yeah.
Might have probably had over a stiggity today.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I want to make sure chat family definitely know. Like, the numbers were up, and you guys are a big part of why we push, man. This has been awesome, man. Especially WUW Crew chat family. Shout out to the Vet of the Squad, Vet of the Network. That is Flannel Sam, all sports knower, man, and our reference correspondent.
Speaking of the Red Wings, win versus the Carolina Hurricanes tonight at LCA. That's huge. Stop the bleeding a bit. Tough matchup, but I expect the Red Wings to get it done.
Before we get out here, some breaking news or slight breaking news. The Eagles are planning on releasing cornerback James Bradbury as well when this new league year starts. So they're losing 2 cornerbacks.
That makes sense.
Trimming the fat.
Trying to clear up some cap.
Yeah, it makes sense. And, it's your boy Brandon Day, K Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter right from the network. And this has been Wake Up WUW Chat family. Y'all smash that like button if you haven't got an opportunity to. Hit that like button on your way out before you leave today. Share the stream and have a great day. Tap in with the rest of WUW Sports.
Yeah, and then you had, of course, Randy Orton make his return. And you got to love the best security team in the motherfucking world of WWE. They were literally going to let KO break Sammy's neck, but somehow when Randy's about to punt him, everybody in the fucking world gets in the ring to stop him. Like, it just makes no sense.